Hey guys, you're watching Just Hoop Talk podcast on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and to our podcast on all streaming platforms. All right, guys, welcome to a draft lottery edition of Just Hoop Talk with Justin Henry, Will Thompson. Let's dive straight into it, my man.
Let's get it, man.
Yeah, we had the NBA lottery just happened, and we want to go over just the order itself and talk a little bit about the ramifications of what's happened now that we do know the order. So, the order, as it appears on your screen right now, we got the number 14 Boston Celtics, number 13 New Orleans Pelicans, number 12 Sacramento Kings, number 11 San Antonio Spurs, number 10 Phoenix Suns, number 9 Washington Wizards, 8 the New York Knicks slipped a little bit. Everybody was expecting them to go in the top. Number 7 Detroit Pistons, number 6 Atlanta Hawks, number 5 Cleveland Cavaliers, number 4 Chicago Bulls, number 3 Charlotte Hornets, number 2 Golden State Warriors, and at number 1 the Minnesota Timberwolves. So, Will, initial reaction, man. That's a lot of takeaways from that.
You know what? The first thing that popped out to me was like, how are the Celtics in the draft lottery again, bro? Like, Danny Ainge is a genius, dude. Like,
stocking picks.
I'm like, how, bro? How? Number 14, they got a stacked squad. They have so many young players, so much young talent. They drafted they got Taco Fall, Carson Edwards.
Yeah.
They got, dude, it's Tremont Watt. Like, dude, like, how are they back in the
They're stacked,
lottery?
Man.
Danny Ainge is a genius, bro.
Ever since he got there, just been backloading picks and getting new ones and trading up and somehow managing to get in the top 3, man. I don't know how they got in the lottery again, but
crazy, bro.
Kudos to him.
Yeah.
My big takeaway is the Atlanta Hawks kind of slipped, man. They were expecting to get a top 3 pick lock, and they slipped because that would have been nice to pair one of those guys up with Trae Young, Capella, John Collins.
Yeah.
They would have had a nice little, kind of a crew of players there, young core talent. Kind of sucks to see them slip because I would have liked to see some of those top 3, top 4 guys potentially fit in there.
Yeah, sometimes I look at those situations. I'm trying to look at the bright side for teams like that, and even a team like the Sacramento Kings. I'm a fan of the Kings. Like sometimes those mid-tier picks end up being better because you don't have the pressure of trying to hit the big player, right? Like the Hawks, they don't have to go get Wiseman and force him to fit in whatever they're doing. You know what I mean? They're in that range, especially with this draft, where they can go and get whatever, they're not like, oh, you have to get the best available player. They can now get a piece that they feel like fits their team or whatever they're trying to do. So sometimes that frees teams up,
Yeah, that makes sense. And, it would be nice if every team had a luxury of having a top 3 pick after being in the finals the year before. The Golden State Warriors, man.
Yeah, bro.
The number 2 pick overall, the rich get richer.
Yeah.
What do you think about them getting the number 2 pick?
Personally, I'm looking at them probably shopping that pick.
Yep.
Because I think they would probably be better served with someone who's established and can come in and contribute right away.
Yeah.
I like the young dudes this year, but I don't really see someone who can come in and impact
the only one I really see that can make a big difference for them is probably Wiseman, just for being the kind of big that can run the floor, hit an outside shot every now and then, shot blocker inside. I think they could use a big presence like that, but it's not really necessary for their style of play. The wild rumor, obviously, is that they're going to shop Wiggins, the number 2 overall, potentially the other pick that they got from the Timberwolves, and go get a big name.
Yep.
And the big name that's being talked about, obviously, is Giannis. How crazy would that be? I mean, Curry, Clay, Giannis, Dre, like.
Yeah, I was watching the Bucks earlier, kind of with that in mind. Like, damn, if Giannis was playing for the Warriors, bro, because he obviously what he does, he draws the entire defense into the key, right?
Yeah,
and you're surrounded by just absolutely lethal shooters, man. Like, what are you gonna do? You gonna leave Steph open? You gonna leave Clay open? Like, yikes! Like, it just
takes up the whole floor. Like he'll draw in everybody, and I think it'll be good for if that ever did happen. And say he signed a long-term deal, that'd be good because Clay and Steph. I mean, Steph's not gonna want to be on ball, or always
Right.
moving. He's going to want to become more of a shooter probably towards the end of his career anyway. And he signs for the next 5 years. That would be a dope move. And I don't know, man. There's a lot of heat in the West right now, and especially if a team like the Timberwolves. I mean, they got the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
And depending on who they get, I mean, with D'Angelo Russell there, you got Jarrett Culver there, you got Cat. Like, there's some noise that they can make too. Who do they take at number 1? You got LaMelo, Anthony Edwards, Wiseman's there, Obi Toppin. Like, who do you think they take at number 1?
I have no idea. I would assume like an Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
To be a scoring wing, a slasher. Maybe he could fit in with what they do because, I mean, I think LaMelo kind of would clash with D'Angelo Russell. Obviously, Wiseman would clash with Cat.
Yeah.
So I feel like Anthony Edwards would be the best pick for them fit-wise. But if you're in their position, you got to get the best player available, right? Like, why would you not? I mean, we just saw the Sacramento Kings do that and think like, oh, let's get Bagley because he fits what we're doing better. Like, no, get the best player available, right? Like, that's the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
So
there's some people that think Anthony Edwards is the best player available.
Yeah.
But I think it's a curious case with the way that this top 3 shook out, dude. LaMelo Ball's not really a fit for any of the guys in the top 3. Minnesota, obviously, like you said, they got D'Angelo Russell. He's their playmaker, their point guard. The Golden State Warriors don't really need a player like LaMelo Ball. The Hornets, they got Terry Rozier. Are they invested? Are they not? Do they need the big-time name? And then you start getting to, like, the Bulls. You know, they got Zach LaVine, Kobe White. They're kind of deep there. Cleveland just drafted Sexton. Like, it'll be kind of interesting to see how it shakes out with LaMelo. We'll have to do a little mock draft or something here in the near future.
Yeah, I personally, I like him a lot. I think he is probably the best raw talent out there. Obviously, he needs to develop a little bit offensively. But as far as, like, raw talent, I think he's the best player. I think he has the highest ceiling of everyone. But, yeah, if you looking at it as far as fit is concerned, like, you could possibly see him dropping all the way down to Detroit at 7.
Yeah, like 7, 8.
Yeah, or 8 at New York would be crazy, bro.
Dude, that's probably the best fit for him. I could see New York doing some type of, like, deal and trading up. I think whoever gets LaMelo is going to have to trade up to get him.
Yeah.
They'll have to make a move into the top 5 or top 3. If they see him slipping past 2, past 3, probably after that, or maybe whoever has that Warriors pick, maybe they're shopping it to whoever wants LaMelo too.
Good point.
Even if it goes to, like, the Bucks, say it is a Giannis deal, the Bucks are taking LaMelo along with, getting Wiggins or whatever extra talent that they're getting alongside in the deal. We'll see, man. I don't know.
Yeah. What do you think that deal would even? I was thinking about that deal, like, thinking about it from the Bucks' perspective, right? Because I hear this all the time, and I was just thinking about that. Like, you could potentially, because Giannis could walk at some point, and they could be left empty-handed, and you can potentially get, someone like Andrew Wiggins, who is a solid player. You could get a second pick or a number 2 pick in the draft, so you could get a potential guy who you could build your franchise around. Or you could potentially see Giannis walk. Like, I think that's realistic, bro. I really think that could possibly happen.
Well, I think their window's pretty short. If you really think about the Bucks setup, they got a lot of older players there. So you got like a Brook Lopez, even with Bledsoe is like, he's there. I think Middleton signed for a couple more years, but it doesn't really seem like they have, like, a lot of long-term. Maybe DiVincenzo. But, like, he's just kind of a role player. They don't really – George Hill, I think, is even on the team. Like, he was around during those Cavs run. I just don't know that they have a lot of true young talent that they want to build around. And when you can get a LaMelo, Andrew Wiggins, probably another piece or another pick, if you're like, hey, I gotta throw out – you saw the Dame contract – I got to throw out almost $40 million a year, $50 million a year to keep Giannis around, or a small market team like us, we can start the rebuild.
Yeah.
I don't know,
man.
We've seen to be honest.
We've seen the Thunder do it year after year, right? Like, they re-up. They're a small market team. They know these dudes aren't going to stay realistically forever. So they re-up. They move before you move, Yeah. So if you honestly, I could see that happening, which is crazy to even imagine. But
I mean, even the Lakers did it last year with Anthony Davis. It's like it's just those things. You don't want to be the team that ends up with nothing like LeBron. You know, when LeBron left the
handed
gutted both times, like they really didn't get anything back. So you don't want to be the team that just doesn't get anything in return for your player, you know?
Yeah, especially I think a lot of it will have to do. We'll see what happens with the Bucks this year. You know?
Yeah.
If they don't win a championship, is Giannis happy? Does he feel like they have enough to win a championship? I don't know, man.
I think it's finals or bust. If they don't get to the finals, that might be a big deal.
Yep.
We'll find out, man. We'll do mock draft and also probably talk a little bit more about potential options as the draft gets closer. That does it for another episode of Just Hoop Talk, talking about the draft lottery. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and all streaming platforms. Just Hoop Talk, another edition in the books.
Peace.
For more NBA, college, and hoops coverage, be sure to subscribe to Just Hoop Talk podcast on YouTube and all streaming platforms.